Hey guys, so I'm picking the video halfway through a job really, and I sort of forgot that I should be documenting these, but essentially I'm changing the flyback on my Arkanoid monitor. So my old, in my arcade machine, the Arkanoid monitor sort of went, it kind of powers on for a while and then powers off for no apparent reason, and I think I have it. I know why. Essentially, I switched it on in darkness, and I could see there was either here or here. I think it was this one. Can't remember exactly, but there was little sparks building up, little kind of blue plasma-y sort of a glow coming out of one of these wires. So essentially, I'm guessing what's happening is that this is the flyback, and this is what powers the monitor. So this anode here, or is it a cathode? I think it's an anode. Sticks into the CRT at the back, and there's a hole there. You plug that in, and then that supplies the monitor. So I think this is essentially leaking voltage. So it powers on for a while, tries to maintain that voltage, and then switches off when there's not enough voltage. I am guessing, but anyway, I have a spare one of these. This is called a flyback. So this goes into the backplate assembly, and this is what plugs into your tube. And the red wire goes. I've already taken it off. The red wire goes here, and the black wire plugs into this guy, and that clips down. So we'll put that out of the way because I don't need it. So I've desoldered this guy, and now I need to desolder the flyback for the back. And it's as you can see here, I'm gonna grab the new one. There's a few pins here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pins. And these are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the same model. This is hooked DNFFA 2019. This is a Wells Gardner monitor, the K7300 series. So I need a compatible flyback, obviously. So so far so good. It's pretty simple. The only thing I hadn't done was to discharge the monitor, which is well, it was my first time, and I'm kind of glad I didn't film in. That was a bit nerve-wracking, but essentially you need to build yourself a discharge tool with a screwdriver and a grounding wire, and then pass that under this without touching it with your hands, and discharge it like that. Maybe I'll show you in another video, or when I put this back, what I was doing. Anyway, so I'm gonna desolder this guy, and then I'll catch you when I'm done. Show you what I'm using to desolder. I've desoldered these two already. This is just a small desolder vacuum pump. You press this guy just to activate the pump. This is heated, so you just apply that onto your solder joint. Wait for it to melt a bit. There you go, and then press the button, and that sucks the solder out. It's handy and efficient for small jobs. I have actually ordered a bigger pump, an actual professional pump, because I'll be doing a lot more of this, and make things so much easier. Because I mean, this is kind of handy, but it doesn't actually suck everything out. So you have to go a few times again and again, and it can get messy if I have a lot of these, or if I'm desoldering chips like these. You don't want to be spending too much time on these. So with an actual proper desoldered gun station, I'll be able to go much faster. But this is handy for this purpose. It works just fine. I'll show you. So probably use some flux, and this guy doesn't want in it. There you go. And go again a few times. There you go. you can see here, this guy is actually still stuck on one side. So this is where it gets tricky and messy, and because you think you've most of it gone, and then it's still sticking to the board and it's still attached. And then you don't want to spend too much time on this because you don't want to damage the board either. And also, this is a good tip if you're desoldering anything. Don't actually do it with the board flat on the ground. So don't do it with this flat on the ground. First, you might damage some components on the other side, but also what happens is as you heat the solder, it actually goes to the other side of the board and starts building up on the legs of these components. So you get a big blob of solder here that's still attached to this side of the board, even though it looks like it's gone here. So you're better off actually doing it from the side like this. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going and I'll catch you after that. Alright, the old flyback is off. So I'm gonna clean this board a bit and clean the solder here, clean all this off a bit, and then put the new flyback in. There you go. New flyback is in. It's kind of tricky to put in because there's a lot of pins to align, and then there's these clips here. And you kind of have to put it in an angle and then try to sort of put it in, but it's in now. You can see all the pins are here. So I'm just gonna resolder everything. Resolder this guy to the backboard and clip this, and hopefully it'll work. Okay, so right now I am putting the board back in. Yeah, this is the right, and this is the grounding. It's gonna be tricky. I don't have my tripod, and a couple of friends calling over, so it's actually dark now. I'm trying to get this finished. Pretty much there. I'm just gonna give it a test. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to leave it for today and take that up maybe next weekend, because I just won't have time this week, which is a shame. The danger in here is obviously to touch this guy and damage it, because if this breaks, that's it. You need another one of these. I'm gonna leave this for the end, just want it out of the way for now. This guy, yeah, goes to ground. Yeah, this is the board. So this one here, there's only one way this fits back here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch this off. Of course, the back plate goes back here. And I have a few things to reconnect, so I'll catch you in a few seconds. I wish I could film most of it. I don't have my tripod, and Fiona isn't here to help me, but so putting the monitor is it's because this is heavy and it's a big assembly, so you have to slide that in, and you have these oh, can you see, because it's very dark. Hold on, I have a light here, which is very handy. One of these, if you don't have one of these, get one of these, very handy. Anyway, so you have to line these with those rods here, and it secures everything in place, so your monitor won't move, and then it secures it if I need to tilt it in any direction. When I put the wheels, I have to tilt that over, so it prevents the monitor obviously from moving and breaking. We don't want that. So I'm just going to secure it back in place, plug it in, and see what happens. Okay, so everything is secure. I just need to get these back in place. So this is, come on. This is why it's what hides all the all the shame underneath. And then this is the glass plate that goes in front. And this glass plate, lifting it with one hand is not a good idea. Sorry, this goes up here like that. Sorry. So you put it up and slide it up like that, and this rests then on this edge. And I'm out of focus. So it looks much better now. And then you bring the control panel assembly back up over. I'm gonna try not to slam it onto the glass plate. Sorry about the, I need a wider angle. Maybe I'll get one of these fisheye lens for the phone. My GoPro's out of action and the batteries were down on it. So there you go. So we're gonna switch it on and see what happens. So this is my old assembly here. So flyback is changed. Everything is plugged in correctly. So let's see what happens. I got yes, it's very faint, so the tube is working. So is it working? Well, yes, it is. I did a few readjustments as well just to get a sharp image. But there you go. This was completely gone, the monitor. So just changing the flyback there. It's actually a pretty easier job than I thought it would be. So to discharge a monitor, I was going to show you this. I made this custom, very custom tool. Essentially, I'm not going to touch it here, but you see the suction cup there. So you have to go underneath that and touch. So I'm sorry, actually, I'm going to show you. I made this. It's a screwdriver with a insulated tape connected to wire that goes to a big crocodile clip. So the crocodile clip goes on the chassis, on the metal bit of the chassis, and I use this to go under the suction cup and touch the metal bits. Essentially, this discharges all the voltage into the chassis and dissipates it, so it can safely remove the suction cup there. You have to obviously disconnect everything. Well, mostly mains, but I actually disconnect everything. I don't want any discharging spikes to end up in my board and damaging it. I doubt this could happen, but I don't want any of that. So I disconnected everything, and there you go. It works. It's actually much more silent as well, which is really cool. There was a static buzz before, which is gone. So there you go. Changing the flyback on a Wells Gardner monitor K7300 series. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.